Capricorn, welcome back to Steampunk Psyche. If you are a returning subscriber, I want to say I love you. I appreciate you guys so much for coming back. If you're just brand new to the channel or cross-watching for your particular sign, I encourage you come in and check out some of the videos I've laid out. Perhaps something might line up for you. Capricorn, I'm in a damn good mood right now. Check it out. Got my High Priestess shirt on. Isn't that so cool? She's beautiful. Anyway, I'm feeling very intuitive and intuitive. Yeah. Anyway, I feel like I'm spot on. I feel like what I'm about to say to you is going to resonate. I hope. Anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you though. I just want to say I love you from the very beginning. All right, we're going to shuffle up and get into your reading. Hopefully I didn't scare you away and you're like, dude, come on. And if you are, you weren't meant for this channel anyway. So this is about the returning subscribers. Hopefully I can line up with your energies, find out what's going on in your present energy, right? Find out what's taking shape in your life. All right, I've already shuffled up, but I'm shuffling for, transparency's sake, right? Not a very good job either. Here we go. Maybe one more time. See what's up. I got it right. Okay, let's talk about your categories, all right? Let's look at your current energy. Oh, my goodness. Right off the bat, the Lovers. Okay, and your crossing challenge. Nice. I'll go over each and every one of these categories with you, I promise. Let me get them all laid out first. Do keep in mind that I also give your haiku poems right before your reading, okay? All right, we have foundation. Yeah, those poems are all about you. We have the recent past. We have the possibilities. We have the near future. Ooh, this is going to be exciting. I like it already. We have the self. All right, cool. The self, we have the environment, hopes, fears, wishes, or worries. I'm excited about this reading. I'm looking at these cards. I apologize. I get to see them, really up close. I'll show you up close. Outcome and direction. Before we get started, though, I do have your poems ready. I hope you enjoy them. Leave something in the comments and let me know, okay? Check them out. I'll be right back. Okay, Capricorn, I've had a chance to look at your cards. Hope you like those haiku poems, by the way. Let me know in the comments, please. Okay, you're opening up with two major arcana. You got the Lovers, you got the World. I'm going to give you the down low. We're going to talk about this, okay? If you are strong enough to hang on, if you are patient enough, I'm going to tell you a story here. Um, this is the year everything's opening up, a choice. And we're not talking about just romantic here, okay? This is a soul level type alignment. For some of you, this may apply. For others, it may just be relationship related, but I feel like we're talking about a soul level type of commitment here, okay? For some of you, it may resonate as the twin flame journey, because I do feel like we're going to see some mirroring, okay? Some matching of the energies, so to speak, right? That are definitely kind of like pulling you in a certain direction here, okay? This connection really feels faded. For someone I am speaking to here, this is how it could play out, okay? This is somebody who's got some seriously fucking intense eyes. We're talking like maybe like hazel, dark brown. It doesn't have to apply, but it's in the eyes, okay? You see this in the eyes. It's through the soul, right? The eyes are the hidden gateway. So we could be talking about someone maybe online or in person. I'm not sure, but the chemistry is very, very magnetic here, okay? This could look like a situationship, suddenly that becomes very, very serious. Okay. It's the person who finally admits, damn, I can't stop thinking about you. Okay. There is a very bold, I don't know, very bold, very passionate fire energy. Okay. We'll talk about it more, but you know, this is someone, I don't know. It could be like you're choosing between two people here. For some, that may apply. Okay. Keep in mind that, you know, Capricorn, I have a lot of other people may watch this, so I'm trying to give you as many examples as possible here. But this is the, one stable, one intoxicating. You know what I mean? Like, this is the, I don't know, someone who's watching your old posts, at like 2 a.m. in the morning. Um, it's got that breadcrumb kind of situation, but it's also revealing their desires. Okay. So I think you're going to find that out here. If, we're talking like a feminine energy who sends a long, emotionally vulnerable text, then maybe deletes that damn thing before sending it, and, so the masculine could be mirroring that same effect here, is what I'm getting at, right? This is a soulmate connection that maybe resurfaced, after a few months of silence for some of you. It could feel like the pulling away, or even the pulling towards someone who feels like home. It's a mirrored thing. So, the timing here might be a little bit messy, but stick with me. Could be talking about maybe an external influence in this situation as well. Maybe a friend, family, or something like that. Maybe trying to sway a decision for somebody here. Okay. You could be seeing synchronicities like 222. This represents alignment, in relationship, balance, that type of situation. So for some of you, you could be, I don't know, maybe songs. You got a song stuck in your head that just keeps playing around, the same lyrics that you're hearing over and over again, the same chorus that kind of signals like a soul tie or something like that. This could apply for some of you. But this is acting brave on the outside, but terrified as shit of losing you. Okay. This is both of you, both checking social media more than they maybe want to admit, but it has both masculine and feminine energy. The masculine is bold, impulsive. It's I want to claim you. Okay. And the feminine is in definitely the intuitive, emotional, wanting that depth and that truth. Okay. We're going to move on into this challenge card. Another major arcana. We got the world. You know, take a deep breath. You know, this part might have a little bit of teeth, but I'm saying it out of love. Your challenge here is maybe closure. For some of you, you may be in a unfinished business situation. A relationship still standing, moving on from a relationship, karmic ties, patterns, whatever. But this is something that's definitely unfinished from, like, I don't know, for some of you, this could be around like 2024 to 2025, still lingering in the situation. It does have the energy of, like, maybe a past lover, who just pops up, just when you're ready to move on. Okay. It's like, I don't know, for some, it could look like I'm stuck between I'm done, but what if? You know what I mean? A long distance connection, maybe complicating a situation for somebody here. Um, I don't know. It still has that lingering effect. Somebody you got that energy tied to, but they're just not reaching out. You know, um, I don't know. For some, it could be feeling like you're repeating that karmic loop. Okay. This could talk about maybe like, you're finished with the job that you've been doing, or your place of employment, wherever you're at. Um, it may feel like it's ending, but you kind of might feel scared to step into like the next level. To level up, to take that test to become the manager, or to, to move into that promoting type situation. For some, that might apply. Others, like I said, we could be talking about like just moving or relocating, traveling, something like that. I don't know, but maybe things might feel just a little bit in the delayed department here. Okay. Um, for some, synchronicities could look like 999. That does represent an ending. Okay. A completion of a cycle. That afraid of starting over, but it's inevitable because it's the major arcana. So, take what applies here. Um, as far as like human behaviors, this could be like, I don't know, avoiding that hard conversation, right? Because maybe someone here might fear like the finality of it. It's over. It's really over this time, or everything's about to begin something new, so both energy dynamics there. It's got avoidance for the masculine type energy, and it has the overthinking for the feminine. So once again, there is that mirroring type of effect. These two situations could be going on in both of your lives. It doesn't have to apply, but just take what fits, right? All right, moving on into the foundation. Okay, we've got the 10 of Wands here. So, like again, I hate to keep saying this, but like sometimes sometimes I have to be a little gentle. Some people don't like to hear these types of things, but I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff, right? This is the part where you've been carrying way the hell too much alone by yourself. It's exhausting, right? You're doing all the texting. Maybe you're doing all the planning. Maybe you're doing all the initiating. It could be a mirrored on the other side. So keep that in mind. You may be playing out that role, the push pull retreat, the chaser, runner dynamic situation. So just take what fits here. But it could look like someone relying on you, but not reciprocating it. Okay. This is the working overtime or juggling, multiple type responsibilities in your life. It could look like a family burden, weighing on your love life. We did have in the lover situation the possibilities of that third party influence. So whatever that might mean for you. Maybe you're seeing like 444. The number is 444. Some people could be waking up at 444. I actually do that a lot. Okay. That number signifies like, protection, reassurance. It's kind of letting you know that the universe is saying, hey, you're right on time. Everything's good. You're still showing up. There's burdens. Yes, they're weighing on you, especially around your love life or something like that. But pay attention. It's talking about, hey, you might be hiding that stress from the person that you love, right? Maybe you're afraid to ask for help. Maybe you might be carrying around some guilt that really isn't yours. Something like that. Okay. Um, this has got that I'm smiling through the burnout phase, right? But someone close to you senses it, but I feel like maybe they don't know how to help you in a situation, okay? We're going to look at the recent past. We'll talk about this. Interesting. The Knight of Swords, this is fast movement. This is impulsive, quick decisions, sudden communication. In the recent past, it could have been a situation where, like, I don't know, someone texted you, from out of nowhere after months of silence, sent a letter. Do people even do that shit anymore? But yeah, I mean, we're just talking about something that came in from the past here, a masculine, and when I say that, I'm not talking about gender specific here. This could apply to female. But what I am getting at is that, I don't know, somebody rushed in with intensity. So that it has that masculine energy, and then maybe pulled back. This is like a conversation you may have had that got real intense. We're talking about a very quick, a truth bomb, something like that, a confession, maybe an argument, some type of situation here. This could look like maybe you made a very bold, like career move too. Okay. Um, I don't know, maybe someone stalked your social media and just, I don't know, they reacted pretty impulsively on something that you may have posted, something like that. That could have been a message at like, some odd time, like 1:13 a.m. You know what I mean? Like anyway. Um, this is a truth that came out faster than what you expected, maybe. Or perhaps you confronted somebody. You do have that, that Knight of Swords energy is that compulsive, you know, I don't know, maybe a sudden shift. It just pushed you into clarity and you just had to voice yourself, something like that. But this is kind of like the person acts first and then maybe thinks later. Just take what fits here, okay? We're going to move on into the possibilities. We've got the Queen of Cups. This is, in the kind of the generic form, it's emotional depth, intuitive connection, it speaks about your softness kind of returning again, the ebb and flow, really just stepping into the ebb and flow of life. She's adorned with that ebb and flow robe that represents the water, the stream of life. So we could be talking about a feminine energy here who kind of just opened up emotionally. Someone maybe confessed their feelings like they've been hiding for a while, or it also has it also has the soulmate level partner attraction in this. Okay. The intuitive side, right? The it's the trusting in that intuition again, the nurturing this connection that's entering into your life. Okay, so this could be like a maybe receiving like that heartfelt apology. We are talking about the cups here, so emotions are involved, right? You could be seeing like the numbers 555. That represents like breakthroughs, and especially in this category, be emotional breakthroughs of some type. It does speak about dreams. Perhaps I don't know. Someone's dreaming about you. Perhaps that's part of that message that they send you. That'd be a very brave and bold, masculine energy that would do something like that, right? So I don't know. This has got, I feel safe with someone for the first time in a very long time. It could be months for some, years for others, right? But it also has like the creative or spiritual projects, something that's bringing, you emotional fulfillment here, okay? But it's got, I listen deeply. I remember all the small details, and so this shows, all that care through softness, all right? Okay, we're moving on into the near future, and we have, again, another major arcana, the judgment, okay? This is the awakening moment. It's big, but I feel like you're ready for something. This is you've chosen yourself, the karmic cycles, you've realized this, you understand the patterns and the things, I feel like maybe, you're receiving all the signs, they feel way too specific, right, to ignore here. So, you might be seeing like 111, it represents new beginnings, something like that, but you just can't ignore it, that particular dream, that, I don't know, it reveals the truth about someone. This could look like maybe a second chance at something that I don't know. You thought may have been over. This could be like an application you had put in for a job or something like that. Just becomes available, right? Or that relationship or whatever. It's definitely stepping into a higher purpose here. Okay, and so this whatever these decisions are for you, they're major. Okay, and we're talking about this whole year here. Okay, um, it could look like somebody who wants redemption. Somebody who wants forgiveness. So, all right, moving on into the self. All right, this is a this card really does speak about I am romantic again. Okay, I'm hopeful, I'm open, I'm ready. This is you start flirting more. You're ready to date. You're ready to be involved with intention. Dreaming way more vividly, like I don't know, that emotional intimacy, that craving of emotional intimacy. Right, this could be like you. Perhaps somebody likes is writing those types of stories, a way to creatively express yourself. For others, this could look like imagining a future with someone here. Has the energy that, you're just becoming way more softer than you have in a long time, so it's got that I'm ready to receive love. It's patient, right? You're leading with your heart here, not your fear in that situation. Okay, we're going to move on into the environment around you. And we got the 8 of Cups, another soft landing for you here. We are talking about you're moving away from that which is no longer feeding your soul. So in the mirroring image, it's the same thing. It might be someone around you emotionally withdrawing in that situation. So the connection kind of fades in and out because one person stops trying and the other one is trying to catch up with the emotional, you know what I mean, push pull. For some of you that might apply. The other this might talk about, like, finally leaving that job or that environment that's drained the hell out of you. Okay, someone ghosted you, pulled back their energy, something like that. uh, you could be seeing signs, angel signs like 808, 818, something like that, talking about alignment, deeper fulfillment. So this is craving that deeper emotional fulfillment card. You're no longer going to accept the breadcrumbs for some, and for others it's the mixed signals maybe. So it's I'm done with half effort, and I'm going to disappear emotionally on your ass here, right? All right, so just take what applies here, but we're talking about now the hopes, the fears, wishes, or worries, and we've got the Ace of Wands. This is you. I want a steamy relationship. I want it to not only I want it to not only be emotionally grounded, I want to be swept the F off my feet here. I want sexual pleasure. I want the environment around us to be romantic. I want that, it's got all of those juicy signals, the flirting that feels intense, Um, I want this fresh start. This is it does have a hint of like repeating old patterns, but I feel like somebody's sexual energy here is very strong. It could be towards you, towards them, something like that. But like I said, it still has that, I don't want to be disappointed in that situation. I want the excitement. So as far as human behavior, someone wants you physically and emotionally here. But I feel like they're just kind of scared to admit it. And this could be on both sides of the fence. Okay. So now we have the outcome and the direction. And this is interesting. It's like this is long-term stability, it's legacy, it's commitment, it's family, it's wealth. Those are kind of the generic terms, but I feel like somebody's relationship here is taking a huge dramatic turn. This is the I'm at home with you, I'm at peace with you. You meet someone's family, you're building a home with someone here, a legacy. We could be talking about, for some, there is an inheritance or a financial blessing that's going to be coming in. Um, for others, it could look like the whole package. Okay. Um, For some, they may not be interested in the money. It has nothing to do with it. Their wealth is love. It's the appreciation, the joy. You know, um, Generational wealth is the whole deal. Abundance. So this is you finding that life partner. It's creating that real stable, the abundant future. Somebody could be seeing signs of like 777 that talks about divine alignment. Okay, and for others, it could look simply like shit. I just hit the jackpot. You know what I mean? So Capricorn, I feel like with the lovers opening up your reading, excuse me, this is all about your alignment. It's all about how this goes from like warm to hot to hotter to holy shit. You know what I mean? And for others, it could look like, with that, the world card and the 10 of wands, it's like, it's been showing you the weight that you've been holding on to, all the unfinished business, the emotional labor, exhaustion, that type of shit. But with the judgment and the knight of cups, it's kind of like I'm revealing to you, the universe is saying, this is your rebirth. Okay. When you become softer and more open, more intuitive, and more willing to receive the love, you know, um, I don't know. It's like the universe just throws back at you that love is definitely going to choose you back. You know what I'm saying? So listen, Capricorn, stay aligned. Let me know in the readings. I want to know how this ends up. This is really cool. And I say that with the most respect. And I'm saying it because I would love to know if I need to do kind of a follow-up energy on this. So, all right, Capricorn, I hope this was confirmation for some. I hope it was clarity for others. I hope you took it with all love and respect. If you have not subscribed to Steampunk, hit that subscription button, okay? And make sure you turn on your notifications, okay? All right, Capricorn, I'm going to leave you with that, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hope I get to see you on the next readings. All right, bye-bye.